let me put it this way: like the millennial generation, our generations, millennials, we were in a fairly unique position in history where we had to learn more. Uh, like even as a normal user, just you're using a computer, you had to learn more about the computer itself and its systems and how it works, because the software was just unreliable most of the time. So even even somebody who's not what you would call a nerd, if they would use a computer, they would still understand a lot of concepts and a lot of things in computers, and they would still be able to troubleshoot a lot of computer stuff. I'm talking about like if you're a user from like 1990 until 2010 or so.
Yep.
You know,
Especially with installing games.
yeah,
For example, you just have Steam or Epic Games. You click, and you're installing a game,
yes,
and you're finished. But remember those times that you go to the store, you buy a box,
yeah,
you put in the CD or DVD back in those days in your computer.
yeah.
Okay, you have to click the normal installation procedure like we have now, but yeah, you have to look on the booklet to find the serial number.
Oh yeah, oh man, yeah. Also, DirectX version.
Oh yeah.
Oh, your DirectX version is incompatible, blah 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 blah. Oh, your video card drivers, blah blah. Video card drivers sometimes happens now, but it's fairly rare. But it's like, yeah. So we were in a unique position in history where we had all of these things, and so it gave us kind of like this insight. But now I know this, like at my work, some interns don't understand how the file explorer works. You know what I mean? So it's like they downloaded something, and I tell them it's in downloads, and then they're like, they have no idea how to navigate to downloads to find the thing. They can only find it because in the browser you can go to downloads in the browser, like in Chrome or in whatever. You have a download tab, so all the downloads you have done in the past are there, in order of downloads. If that tab wasn't there, that download tab, they would not be able to find it. They will, if I tell them, okay, don't use Chrome, go to the through Explorer, Windows Explorer, go through there and go to the file, go to the folder. They didn't even know what a folder was. Or at least they didn't understand it as well. What a folder
Interns.
was. Yes. And I work at a networking firm, and so you would expect that these interns, they come from a, technical university or college.
Well, at least using your laptop, right?
Yeah,
To make notes in class or do the projects on Word
Exactly.
or something, as we used to do.
Yeah, exactly. So they were I saw how they worked. So when I was helping this guy, helping him out in the first few days to start up, I saw how they worked. Instead of knowing, oh yeah, the file is downloaded to downloads, so I have to navigate to the downloads folder to find it. Instead of just, oh okay, then I'll go to download, click. What he did was, I saw a lot of them do this as well, by the way. They search the file name. So they go to the search bar in the taskbar. There's a search bar. They enter the file name there, and then they find it that way. And then they click on it that way.
Okay.
So I mean, it works, sure, but they don't understand how the file system works, because they just use the search. They either navigate through the downloads tab of the browser, or they use the search. So they memorize the name of the file, or they read the name of the file. So oh, I'm gonna download that, and then they, one time what I saw him do one time was that you have to click save as, right? So he clicks save as, and then it asks where do you want to save it. He copy pasted the name of the file, and then he pressed save, and then he pasted the name of the file in the search bar to find the file, and then he opened it that way.
Okay. Very inefficient,
It's like, I was like, what are you doing? Also, another guy, he had trouble double clicking.
What?
Yeah. It was like
What are you using?
I don't know. It was like watching my father use a computer for the first time 30 years ago. It was like this boomer clicking. Like double click is like click, click. No, I mean double click. I clicked it twice. What do you mean? When I was teaching my father like
Oh my God.
30, 40 years ago, whatever, how to, or whatever, how to use the internet, or 20 years ago, whatever. I clicked twice. No, you have to click real fast twice. Oh, what do you mean? I clicked twice. Like, yeah, I mean, that stuff. They had trouble double clicking. Another guy. So it's like, these are like 19, 20-year-old guys who who are third years in a, IT, education at university level.
Education? What?
Yeah, that's what.
What?
So yeah, but you don't.
What do they do? How do they use a mouse then?
I have, man. One other guy. He also had troubles with the mouse. He had trouble like. Okay, let me put it this way. When he like, when you go click an icon, you just kind of like, you go to with your cursor to the icon, you click on it. He always missed. and he always was like kind of slow. I told him, yeah, click on that. And you see him kind of like slowly moving. And then still like kind of half the time he kind of missed. And had to correct his mouse pointer. I was like, what? I didn't say anything. I was just like, this is so weird, man. Like, so, yeah. It's odd. It's really... So that's why I'm saying, like, millennials were like in this short period where we know more about computers and how to use them or whatever than boomers, but now zoomers are also turning into boomers in the way they are using the internet.
What the hell?
Because they don't understand technology. This is the interesting thing. Zoomers, when you don't understand a device at a certain level, you have difficulty understanding technology. Zoomers don't actually understand technology. That's something that I think it's a misconception. They
Even
know
though they're studying it.
Yeah, they don't actually understand it. They know how to use apps on their phone. That's it. They know how to use apps on their phone. But the thing with apps on your phone is that they are made to be extremely easy to use, and they usually have one or two functions, and that's it. And they don't do anything else.
Which gets more interesting now regarding our topic, as in, what is the cyberpunk future of computers?
Yeah.
If we talk now about applications or devices getting more user-friendly, maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
What would happen then with the computers? Mouse, keyboard, action.
Well,
I mean, in Cyberpunk 2077, you use computers to hack, right? And you can go through laptops and computers to open a door or hack or check emails, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the okay. In Cyberpunk 2077, computers are still there, and we usually hack into computers as well, like that. So it's still there, but it's like the technology there is more mobile than ours, and because of the history of the that universe itself, their technology split from ours somewhere in the 1970s or 80s. Somewhere their technology started to diverge from our technology. And when I think about the future of computing in our world, I'm thinking about that. It's small. A smartphone is a good start. You carry it with you. And now that we're seeing it as well, it's gonna be a lot of AI. So instead of like having to type on a keyboard, you're telling the AI, "Hey, I want to do that. I want to do this. Blah 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 blah." That kind of stuff. Like Star Trek. Star Trek, they tell the AI a lot of stuff. Like, "Hey, I want to do that. Make that. Whatever."
But then I wonder, like, there's this ongoing war, right?
Yeah.
Console versus computer games. So in that way, yeah, of course, the computer will survive, of course, right? Like, okay, for gaming and programming and stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll always have desktop computers. That's not going away anytime soon. But
it will evolve.
It will evolve, yeah, and it will become more portable than now. Now we have laptops, but I mean, in like these days, you could hook up your telephone to a screen and you get video, and you can hook up a keyboard to it and you can start typing. So that's kind of like the way I see the future heading. It's portability, on the go. And as soon as we have brain dance type of technologies, there's got to be a lot of that too as well. That's gonna be the big ticket technology for portability. We already have it a bit because some of these VR glasses aren't these big bulky things. Some of them are. Some of them are trying to become smaller and with more limited, with more limited features, so they can become smaller. That kind of stuff. I think that's gonna be the future for that kind of stuff. That you can like literally hook up a VR glasses to your telephone or something like that, and then on the go you can do some VR stuff. Those kinds of things. But limited VR stuff, like it's not gonna detect. Probably it's not gonna detect certain movements, certain axes, and you're like only gonna be able to do it when you're sitting down. That kind of stuff. Limited. Yeah, but when it comes to like what I just explained now, that they know how to use it or whatever, it's gotta be rough. It's gotta be pretty rough because that kind of knowledge is kind of like fading. Even amongst the nerds or whatever, the people who actually learn this stuff, because software has become so good, so stable. It's actually kind of like a good thing back in the day that Windows 98 was so crashy and buggy. It's weird to say, but actually I'm glad it was so crashy and buggy now that I think about it, because it made me learn so much about troubleshooting computers, sorting out technical issues, that kind of stuff. I learned so much from that piece of crap, Windows 98 bug fest. Today with Windows 11, it's so stable. It's insane how stable it is. You almost never have any issues unless you're messing with something.
Because of working from home. Many people, both parents, mom and dad, are working on a computer, most likely, right?
Yeah.
Editors and stuff. So you would expect that, in my time when I was a child, I saw my dad on the computer. I was like, "What are you doing? This looks cool. Let me do the same." And then I also became a computer guy.
Yeah.
Because of my father was a computer guy.
Yeah.
Very much into computers.
Yeah.
So you would expect that, especially when people are doing more on computers, I would have expected that their kids would copy their behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, I am also working doing stuff on the computer.
Yeah. Yeah, but no. Yeah.
No. Smartphones and tablets.
Yeah.
Or of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because the smartphone is the default device these days. It's like, especially for kids, or tablets, it's just easy. It's always just easy. You don't have to learn to type. Type on the tablet. It's like whatever. And what are they?
Sorry, I have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Is your internet?
No. Forget
So he's
that.
like a boomer.
Yeah, like a boomer. Boomer typing, single digit, single finger, one word, one letter, looking half the time, looking at your letters and whatever. And like the mouse movement is also like really bad and choppy. I've seen a lot of that, and it's mostly the younger people. It's either the boomers. It's either the boomers or the younger. you should know what you're doing. You should be technically, inclined and knowledgeable. And these guys, some of them, it's like, man, what am I looking at? It was pretty weird to see. Yeah, so it's like typing is gonna be rough. But I mean, I'm not the only one experiencing this. I mean, I've seen a lot of reports from like Deloitte and all these companies. They're talking about like that Zoomers need to be trained in modern technology because they don't really understand it. Deloitte is offering their new employees offering courses to get them to get used to modern tech, because this is the big Zoomer lie, the massive Zoomer lie. They are not tech savvy. They know how to install and use apps on their phones. That's it. They don't understand technology. They don't if there's a problem with the technology, they don't understand it, and they go back to the store and they just hand it over. I have a problem, fix it, and that's it. They're boomers, So yeah, that's kind of like a crazy future. Yeah.
What do you think, dear listener and viewer? What do you think on how computer will evolve? Please let us know in the comment below.
Yeah, let us know. Ja.
En...
Ja?
Wil je nog wat zeggen?
Nee, ik ben klaar.
And please support us by giving us a like on this video and subscribing. And we will see you in our next video.
Yeah, see you next video. Also, check our Discord. It's in the description.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a chat about computers.
Yeah, let's have a chat. On the computer, yeah. Okay, bye-bye, guys.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.